Well, hello, you trader nerds. Welcome into a fabulous Friday. How you doing? Real traders never trade alone. They trade with their fellow nerds like Auction, like Babe Ruthless, like DB, like Darmesh, like DMT, like Dwayne, like Hal, like Kevin, like Matt Jollywally, like Mo, like Paul J, like PSG, like RR, like Sarb, like Stacy, like Stefan, like Steven, like Todd, like Vicky with an I, Victor, and Bo. So welcome in, y'all. We got us a little sell-off today. Market down 0.4%. It was down a little bit more, but now we see that AD is leading the market up again. AD is kind of weak, a negative 202. VIX is at 16.44. And we are back inside of the opening 15-minute range. We are at a pivot point here, and we're also at the VWAP, and the hourly mid-band is going downward. Let's look at the Big Green Monster. Big Green Monster looks like, what does a Big Green Monster look like? Big Green Monster looks like we are at the 50% line. Isn't it amazing? And that should be a little bit of support, we would think. So I wouldn't think that we have much farther to drop today. Looks like we got support there, and we've got support at the 50 moving average. This is on a 30-minute chart, though, so that's not a daily moving average. That not as many people would look at this, but maybe some support there. So we're probably done. So in other words, if you're doing 0 DTE trades today, sell a put spread right now on SPX. Let's see if we can find the linear regression in here somewhere. Where is linear regression? Linear regression. Let's see. Here. See what linear regression looks like. So we're still in the uptrend. No big problem there. And we are just coming down a little bit within the overall uptrend. And then we're in a smaller uptrend of the larger uptrend. So still up and away. Now, I want to show you something as we've been considering doing AIM. I wanted to show you the AIM UPRO chart here. This is UPRO. And this is, I wanted to show you a back test that I did using my AIM spreadsheet. So I think everyone would agree that the absolute worst place that you could have started your AIM positions would have been right here at January of 2022. Because look what happened in 2022. You went down, 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 and the flame just kept running. Little Johnny Cash there. We just went down and down and down and down. This was a horrible time to be owning a position in a triple leveraged ETF UPRO. Horrible time. So what I did, now, what looks like a more horrible time to do it? Kind of looks like right now, right? We might have did it then, Matt. You're right. Maybe that's when we were doing it. Yeah, I wrote that off when we were down $10,000. Yeah, and said screw that. But what if we'd stayed with it, Matt? What if we'd stayed with it? All right. I mean, it looked real bad that year, but 2023 was bullish, and of course, 2024 has been really bullish. Well, I did a couple of back tests. Let me show you these. Let's see here. Let's see. This one here was 50-50, and the other one was 80-20. Now, for those of you that have read Robert Lucello's book, if you notice, he does what is called an AIM high. And an AIM high is where you put 80% into the stock and 20% into cash. Okay. Now, if we had had SPY would have been up $118,000. If you bought SPY at the beginning of 2022 until today, you would be up $118,615. So from 2022 to present here in September of 2024, you would have made $18,000. Okay, so that looks really good. Now, let's see what AIM did. Unfortunately, AIM didn't do that good. AIM didn't do good at all. Now, I got to double check my formulas to make sure, but look at this, y'all. You had If you started 80% in stock, you were down 50%, you were down 57%, you were down 54%. Then you start recovering, and now you would have been up $8,000 as of September the 3rd. Okay. So you would have been up $8,000 compared to being up, what did we say? 18,000 on SPY. Yeah, 18,000 on SPY. That didn't look good at all. And I was like, oh, that's kind of depressing. And the reason was you were too involved in the stock, and 80% is probably too much to put in to the AIM thing with UPRO. That's what I'm thinking. But if I now look at the one where I started off with $100,000, how did it do in 2022? Well, you were down 14, 6, 20%, 43%. You were down 40%, right? Just kind of look. Now you're into 2023 now. So the largest drawdown in 2022 with all of that was 43% instead of 57 with the 80-20. This is having 50% in UPRO and 50% in cash. And you eventually come up though, and what's this? You were up 32.27%. We were up $32,000 compared to being up $18,000 in the SPY. Isn't that kind of cool? So if you'd held SPY, you'd been up 18,000. If you had done UPRO, you'd be up 13,000. But here's something that's kind of interesting though. Look at this. Only $84,000 is in stock. Now I compared this to a portfolio. The SPY portfolio is 100% invested in SPY. Everybody with me? The SPY portfolios in both of these were 100% SPY, no cash. And I compared that to a 50-50 mix of UPRO and cash. And you were up $32,000 total profit, but you're sitting in $47,000 worth of cash. Only $84,000 is invested in the stock. Isn't that kind of cool? I like that a lot. So as price continues to go up, if it keeps going up, you will sell and accumulate additional cash. So I thought that was really, really interesting there. Let's see, what are y'all saying? I remember you wrote, now we can leave the cash in bill as opposed to just cash. Yes, Matt, that's correctly right. Instead of just cash, we could put our money in bill. But anyway, I just thought this was kind of interesting. So if you want to see, I think 80-20 might be too much, especially now. Look at the chart now again. I mean, this looks like here, doesn't it? This looks like, okay, let's go ahead and put 80% of our money in AIM now. No, I don't think so. Maybe we could do the 50%, but I would want to see a nice little pullback first. I think we want to see a nice little pullback before we jump into there. So I'm perfectly content doing my little hedges. So let's look at our little account today, and let's see how our working orders are doing here. So we've got 240 to 155, 260 to 20. We've got 240 to 155, 260 to 20, 235 to 155, 250, this and lots of lot, that lots a lot, that's lots a lot. So we don't have really anything that is near. Am I doing all of this? Is all of my accounts, or is this one of my accounts? Yeah, let's do that. Let's see. There we go. There's my working orders. There we are. So anyway, everything looks really, really good. Nothing about to fire, but we do have some working orders. Let's look and see again. The way I'm going to keep looking at this is the way I look at it until I know what Schwaz says, but let's just look at this now and see what. Let's close it and open it again. Let's go to positions. Let's go to cap requirement. Let's go to, today is the 20th. There we go. So we've got a nice little, hopefully, this is not buying power. Hopefully, I believe it's profit, but even though they tell us otherwise, But I'm basically, anyway, I'm looking at this. It looks like I'm good to the downside. If we were to have a 20% crash, I am doing really, really, really well.
Bobby, I
Well,
think that's buying power.
that's what they say. Did you really do it? Because I'm not so sure anymore after what I showed
I
yesterday.
compared a trade in toss and in this, and they within $1,000 or so of each other,
Okay, on buying
few
power.
hundred. Yeah, and buying
Oh, you
power,
do
like
believe it's buying power. Well, we're going to do that in our Muscadine Mafia session today. So we're
yeah,
going to
that's
do that
like I
today.
looked at the 20% on toss and for the same trade in here, and they were within $100 of each other.
Okay, cool. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing that, Ham. All right, that's all I have today. Let's go into Muscadine Mafia session and hello, ladies.
Hello, ladies.
And we'll do a little bit of the similar back testing that Hal did. And everybody else, y'all have a great weekend. I will see y'all Monday.